Um, Good evening, everyone. Can you hear what I say? If that is, yes, just put a thumbs up so that I can go ahead with the remaining topics. Others, if you can comment whether you are able to hear it, that makes it more easier. Guys, I would require you to keep your study material along with it so that it becomes more easier. Why do we do a budget? And there are a couple of points which you will have to understand with regards to it. See, I told you there are three main objectives of costing, that is, or management accounting. We call it as PCD. P stands for planning, C is for control, and D is for decision making. I told budgeting is part of the planning where we compare budgets with actuals, we find out variances, and then we take decisions. Now, as I said, budgeting is part of our first process, planning. Why budgeting becomes important, or what is the purpose of budgeting is one is, as I said, it's part of the planning. It helps me to have a control mechanism. It will help me for having a coordination with the departments. Then communication, that is to give targets to managers. It will also help me with the performance evaluation. Are you guys clear till here? You need to understand what do you mean by feedback. See, when under control mechanism, what I do is I compare my actuals and with my budgets. Based on it, if I take any action to correct the deviations, we call it as feedback. So what is feedback? Feedback is basically taking the an action to correct the deviations. Are you guys clear with it? So therefore, what basically is a budget? So when I say budget, Remember this, if I explain a plan in terms of quantitative methods or a quantitative expression of a plan, we call it as a budget. So if you put any plan in terms of numbers, it becomes part of the budget. The next term is called as budget period. Now, what do you think is a budget period? See, I would always want to achieve a plan within a given period of time. So, what I do is whenever I make a plan for whatever period for which I make, or whatever is the length of it, and when I want to use it, this becomes part of my budgeting period. So, we say a budget period is basically a time period for which budget is prepared and used. As you know, budgeting will be required for all my levels. It can be strategic, it can be budgetary, which is my tactical level, or it can be part of my operational level. So, operational planning. Strategic planning will always be long term. Now, who prepares budgets? Budgets are prepared by the budgeting committee. Now, if you ask me who should be part of it, I would always want representatives from all the departments to be part of this budget making process. Are you clear till here? So, if you look into it, we have covered 5 pages of budgeting as of now. If you run through the textbook, done. Now, let me go into a what is part of a budget manual. See, in a budget manual, what I do is first I'll give an introduction about why are we doing this budget, what's the objective of it. From there, I will try writing an organization chart. Why organization chart is required? Because it helps me to know who's responsible for each function. Then, to make sure that the budget is prepared on time and not have any late preparation, which will start creating something which will hold us back on making it. See, let's say for an example, we use this term called bottleneck. What is bottleneck is basically when you start piling up a lot of things, you cannot be in a position to deliver everything on time. Let's say for an example, you see a water bottle. In a water bottle, you want, if you want, even though you want all the water to come out from the water bottle at once, you it won't be able to come out because of the neck which is shorter, right? So that creates an endurance for you to grow. So we don't want any of this budget to be holding back at the last moment. Therefore we make a uh, what do you say, a budget timetable so that we can avoid the bottlenecks in the last minute. One of a thing which is very important in a budget when we start preparing is known as a limiting factor. Now, why is limiting factor important in a budget? See, whenever we make a plan, we always try finding out what are the resources which are available. I would always want, let's say for an example, to manufacture a particular product, I require 3 units of raw material, 5 hours of labor. I want to produce 20 units. Therefore, how much raw material will I require? 60 and let's say 100. 60 units of material, 100 hours of labor. Now, let's say I have 60, let's say 70 units of raw material. I have only 80 hours of labor. Now, what do you think is my limiting factor which is stopping me from achieving my full potential? See, I always want my budget to make sure that I achieve the from achieving it. Is it the materials or is it the labor? If I check the materials part, I have 70 units, I have 60 required. That means materials is not my limiting factor. What is limiting me from producing everything is basically my labor. Labor, I require 100 and 80 is what I have. Therefore, my amount, the labor is considered to be my limiting factor. I would always try making my budget keeping labor as my first preference. Are you guys clear till here? Are you guys clear till here? Now let us start preparing a budget. The first kind of budget we'll be talking of is known as master budget and functional budget. Now you need to understand what is a functional budget. See, in a company or in any of a unit or a business, we would make different budgets like sales budget, production budget, materials budget, labor budget, uh, administration budget, marketing budget, capital expenditure budget. Like this, we start making different budgets. Now, from all of these budgets, what we do is we make one summary budget of all these functional budgets, which we call it as master budget. A master budget generally comprises of three things. One, statement of profit or loss, then statement of financial position, third one, cash flow statement. So are you clear with the difference between the master budget and a functional budget? Kumar, functional budget is basically when each functions make a separate budget. Let's say, for an example, you have a marketing department in your office. They make their budget, so that becomes marketing function budget. Let's say HR prepares their budget, that becomes HR budget. So each department or each function of an office make individual budgets of their own for which is concerned with their department. Let's say you are in a computer science engineering department. Computer science will give their budget to the office, so that becomes their functional budget. A complete summary of all the master functional budgets is known as master budget. As of now, okay. Now I want you guys to take and just read page illustration number one. Just read the question as of now. We'll make a functional budget. They've asked us to make uh, four budgets: production budget, material usage budget, material purchase budget, and direct labor budget. I want you guys just to read that question as of now. Ena? Hmm? Yeah. Okay, guys, if you look into the illustration number one, there is a way to approach this question. First one, see, whenever we make a budget, especially any production budget in real life, the first importance is given to the number of units you're planning to sell. Now, in this question, let's try understanding it. There are two products A and B. The number of units A wants to sell, they are given 2400 and B is 3200. Are you clear? Did you get these two values? So, okay, once you get these two values, what I have to find out is I have to find out the number of units produced. Now, just to identify the number of units produced, what we do is let me try finding out two things. One, do I have already any units left of the last year, which we call it as the opening stock. Second, is there any number of units I want to be left at the end of my current year, which we call it as the closing stock. Now, if you see the second line of the question, they're saying that the budgeted inventories for the next year is as follows. I have an opening stock of A, which is 400, and I have a closing stock of 500. Whereas for B, I have an opening stock of 800 and a closing stock of 1100. Now, let me take this into a question. I want to make a sales of 2400 units of A. I already have in my stock 400. That means if I ask you a question, how much would you want to produce? I am very sure the answer would be 2000, right? 2400 is what you want to sell. You already have 400 with you in your stock. Therefore, I can have to produce 400. But companies want to keep some reserve stock at the end. So he's saying he wants to maintain a closing stock of 500. That means, can I say the total number of units what you will produce will be 2500? That will be, can I say if I look into it from a formula per se, I had the sales which I wanted to generate 2400 minus my opening stock 400 plus my closing stock 500, total comes to 2500. Is everyone clear till here? If you have got it for A, I want you to find it for B. What is going to be the number of units to be produced? So what's the answer, guys? I want you to put the answer in your this one. Yeah, Kumar, that's right. For B, it is 3500. Perfect. So now we have understood the number of units to be produced. That is A 2500, B 3500. Now there comes a next question. This is a finished goods. Now I have to produce, right, 2500. For this, I require my raw materials. We require raw materials. How much raw materials do we require? They're saying X, you require 24 kgs. Y, you require you require 10 kgs, and Z, you require 5 kgs. And to produce B, X you require 30 kgs, Y you require 8 kgs, Z you require 10 kgs. Are you clear till here? Yes. Now, if you require 24 kgs to produce one unit, to produce 2500, you'll require 25 into 24, 2500 into 10, and 2500 into 5. And to produce B, you will require X. 30 into 3500, 8 into 3500. Are you clear till here? So, if I just look into X, I will require X. You'll require 60,000 kgs here. Y, you will require 25,000 kgs here. And Z, you'll require 12,500 kgs. X, for production of B, you'll require 1,05,000, 28,000, 35,000. Are you clear with all these calculations? Are you guys clear with the each unit, how much it's required? So you multiply with the number of units, what is there. Done. Now, let me just take X separately. The number of units of X required will be for A 60,000, B 1,05,000, total 1,65,000 of X I require. Y 25,000 for A and 28,000 for B will require 53,000. And if I look into Z, I'll require 12,500 for A, 35,000 for B. Total will be 47,500 is what I require for Z. Are you guys clear what I did? I just took X separately, Y separately, and Z separately. Just did what's the total required for each of it. This what we got. We call it as the material requirement budget. Now, this is what I require. Does this mean that I will purchase these quantities is the question. Are you gonna purchase 16,500? Now, what are we gonna do with it? Now, see here, I will again start following my production budget pattern. I already want 16, 1,65,000 of X. I already have an opening inventory, of 35,000, sorry, 30,000, and I need to keep a closing inventory of 35,000. Therefore, I would require to purchase 1,70,000. Like the way we did our production budget, whatever is opening inventory, I will reduce it. Whatever is the closing inventory, I will add it. Same thing with Y. My opening inventory, what I have, opening inventory, whatever I have, sorry, 20 and plus closing inventory. So I get total 55,000. Same thing with Z minus opening inventory, which is 12,000. Add closing inventory, which is 12,500. So I have to purchase this, we call it as purchase budgets. I have to purchase 1,70,000 kgs of X, 55,000 in for Y, and Z material purchase would be 48,000. Are you guys clear till here? Okay. Now, what is the purchase price? Now, if you see the question, it clearly says X purchase price is 2 per kg, Y is 5 per kg, and Z is 6 per kg. So, how much would you spend on the material purchases? You look at 1 lakh 70 into 4, 3 lakh 40,000. Z will be 55,000 into 5, 2 lakh 75,000. Sorry, Y is going to be 2 lakh 75. Z will be total 2 lakh 88,000. So, how much money do you want for purchase of raw material? Will be 3 lakh 40,000 plus 2 lakh 75,000 plus 2 lakh 88,000. So the total will be 9 lakh 3,000. I hope you guys are clear till the material purchase budget.
Hi. Huh. So Pradeep just said you had some confusion. No, 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 no. The one which happened. The first one we didn't place anything for the more number of us. Yeah. Five and the other one was fine. So the first one was training plus this put together is 10 hours is what we are doing. 10 hours, yes. So that's 5 hours. You want to pay more, you can just pay. We are happy to pay more. Yeah, so that's why I said 8 hours is what we had agreed on. 2 hours, whichever went up, we have just built the faculty cost. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, thanks.
Guys, are you clear till here? So if you just understand what we started off with this, I started with how much ever was my revenue, what I want to achieve. From there, I took consideration of the stock of the finished goods to find out how many units do I have to produce. From the production, I tried finding out what are my raw material requirements. From the raw material requirements, I multiplied with the purchase price to find out what is going to be the total purchase price. Are you guys clear till here?
Hello? Hello? Yes, speaking. Okay, I can. Hmm. No, I just you had posted it on the TI forum, I guess, right? Yeah. Sure, sure. Just yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay. 960. Okay. Can I do it just within half an hour? Is that okay? Okay. 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 I'll do that. I'll do that. Sure, sure. I'll do it. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Guys, sorry, I had to cut down material budget. Now, when we look into the labor, I want you guys to just look into it. The number of hours of labor, what is required. See, in terms of the labor will never have an opening stock or a closing stock issue. Labor would pretty much stand with regards to the number of units what we are producing as such. So when we are talking of labor, I know the number of units of labor units required to be produced is 2,500 and 3,500. So if I see how many hours of skilled labor do I require, the number of hours of skilled labor required is basically uh, how many hours skilled labors required. They're saying a skilled required is 6 hours and 5 hours. And if I take for the unskilled labor, I'll require 10 hours and 5 hours. Therefore, the total number of hours what is required will be for the skilled will be 2,500 into 6, which will be 15,000 and 17,500. Total number of skilled labor I will require will be 32,500. Whereas when I come to unskilled, I'll require 10 hours, so that will be 25,000 hours, and here it will be 15,000 hours. So total comes to 40,000. Sorry, 17,500. So total will be 42,500 hours of unskilled labor. Are you guys clear till here? For labor, because you cannot store any of the labor, it will always be direct or an indirect cost.
Are you guys clear with the labor budget? So labor budget, basically you just have to multiply the number of units. Guys, please remember it's the number of units to be produced, and you multiply with the number of hours which are there. Uh, you do you know the rate per hour for the skilled labor? The skilled labor is paid at 10. That means you'll be paying 3,25,000 for skilled labor, and for unskilled you're paying it at a rate of 6. That comes to 2,55,000. So if I do a total math, I'll be paying 2,55,000 for unskilled, and 3,25,000 for skilled. The total comes to 5,80,000. Are you guys clear till here? Guys, I want you to spend 5 minutes, just look into the solution, and let me know if you have any doubt, or else we'll move to the next topic called fixed and flexible budget. No problem. I want you to run through the answers and then let me know before you put a thumbs up or other things. I want you to solve illustration number, test your understanding one.
ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತದಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಡಯಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಾದ ನಂಬರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪರಿಶೀಲಿಸಿ. Guys, are you clear? So let's just move to the next topic called cash budget. Under a cash budget, what we do is we just try finding out what is going to be my cash inflows and what is going to be my cash outflows, whether I have sufficient inflows over outflows to meet my cash requirement. Hello, Adil. That will be some. Huh, correct. Huh, okay, okay. 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 Huh. Okay. Hello. Hello. Kiran, sorry, just one doubt. That Shobha's number which you gave 96200081243. Hello. Ah. Oh. 814. Okay. Okay, sure. I'll do. Yeah. Hello. Hi, this is Mr. Arjun. This Kiran, will you know, this is actually for a project purpose. Kiran had actually forwarded a role in morning, and I just forwarded in the student group. So they were all getting in touch with Kiran, so he told me just keep Ari in loop so that we can get in touch with him. And then, okay, okay. Uh, there are some BBA freshers, so I'll just put it maybe for the BBA and MBA freshers something if required. You can, okay, for sure. So I'll just ask them to update it and just ask them to get in touch with you. You can maybe then shortlist and let me. If, okay, okay, just tell me the mail and we'll just text across. Okay. HAR. Okay. Okay. SKON. SCHW. Sure, sure, I'll do that. Yeah. Guys, are you done with
Move to the next one, yes, no, or we stop. Okay, so as I said, in the cash budget, we look into the cash inflows and outflows to know what is going to be our cash requirement. Yeah. So when we look into the cash budget, as I told you, we look into the cash inflows or cash outflows to know the cash requirements. So we need to understand if there is a short-term deficit, or do we have a surplus. What do you mean by deficit? Deficit is when my inflows are less than outflows. Surplus is vice versa. That is, my outflows will be lesser than the inflows. When we are making a cash budget, we need to understand few things, that any non-cash items, or let's say income or expenditure, shall not be considered. I want you guys just to read the illustration number 2. Now, guys, did you open illustration number 1? Now, let's see the illustration number 1. Now, in the illustration number 1, oh, sorry, 2, we have two things. They have given you the sales for the month of June, July, August, September. I want you guys just to focus on this right now: 12,500, 13,600, 17,000, and 16,800. Just focus on these four revenues, and also let's try doing a cash receipt budget from it. See, always my sales does not mean that it's a cash sale. There might be a chance there might be a credit sale, or there might be a chance that it can be a cash sale. So we need to look into the question to clearly understand, is it a cash sale or a credit sale? Now if you see the question, what they're telling is, out of your sales, cash forms 10%, and the remainder of customers are paying me in the next month. Why is it important for a budget is, let's say for an example, I am selling June goods worth 12,500. If I am selling goods worth 12,500, only 1250 will be received in the month of June. The balance 11,250 will be received in the month of July. In July sales, whatever I have done, only 13,060 will be received in this month, and 12,240 will be received in August. The same continues: 1,700, 15,300, 1,680. Now, if they ask you to find out what is going to be your cash receipt in the month of July, it will be 1,360 of the current month and 11,250 of the last month. Are you clear? Are you guys clear with the cash receipt budget? Done. Now let me just go back to the question and find out the payments part. Now, if you see in the month of July, my total cash collections, July, the total cash collections were 12610. That is, I am adding up these two. August, when I add up these two, I'll end up getting August 13940, and September I will end up getting 16980. Against this, let me look into the payments. First one, they're saying wages. See the part of the wages. They're telling wages are paid as and when incurred, and wages are paid at $1,300 a month. That means 1,300 you incur every month as your payment. Now let me come to the material. Material, they're saying whatever you have purchased as material, you'll be paying it to 1 month after sale. Oh, sorry, 1 month after purchase. That means material, if you purchase in June, you'll be paying it in the month of July. Same thing goes for August. Sorry, 37 and 2890. I hope you guys are clear till here. Now let me see the third payment what I have. They are saying overheads are taking 1 month credit. Production overheads are 3,200 and selling and distribution are 1890. That means production overheads, if you are incurring in June, you are paying in July. July, you are paying it in August. August, you are paying it in September. But all the months it is 3,200, so it does not make a difference. Every month you have an overheads of 3,200. Same thing with selling and distribution, you have 1890. Now they are saying included in the amount of overheads given above are depreciation charges of 300 and 190 respectively. What does it mean? That your depreciation charges, whatever is there, you need to depreciation is a non-cash expense, therefore it's already included in the overheads. See, 3,200 expense already has 300 rupees of depreciation, and depreciation being non-cash expense, you have to remove it from the production overheads. So my production overheads every month will be 2,900, 2,900, 2,900. Then comes my selling and distribution. It has 1890, out of which 190 is depreciation. Therefore, it is 1,700, 1,700, 1,700. Last one, they are saying that there is a delivery van which is going to be 1235, which you will be incurring it in the month of, sorry, 9870, which you are going to be incurring in the month of August. Are you clear with the cash budget? So cash budget you make separately cash income, cash expenses, reduce your cash income minus your cash expense, you end up getting your budgets for the particular month. Okay. Material purchase budget. See here, first I have to find out how much raw material do I require. Sorry, material purchase, right? See, in the material purchase, if you read the question, they are saying payment to the material suppliers are made in the month following the purchase. That means if you purchase goods in the month of June, you will be paying it in the month of July. July month you will pay it in August. August month you will pay in September. That's what happens because you're not paying them immediately. You'll be considering it to be paid for the next month. Are you clear with it? Yeah. So, guys, good enough for today. So, just recap all the theory what we have done. We'll meet you guys tomorrow at 8. Thank you. See you guys. Bye bye.